Welcome back to Hereford. We're all still reeling from that mega junior specials race, but we're now into the Class 1 rerun, and after the drama earlier on, Ashley Robinson, the SP43, is excluded from the restart because he was judged to be the cause of the earlier incident. Those are the rules in Autograss, but we're away, and it's a great start for Lee Deegan up the inside. It looks to me as though Steve Edwards has gone with him in the Radford machine in the yellow car up the inside line. They're going to be nose to bumper very much indeed on the inside line, though, coming back. That looks like Ian Ullathorne's trying to get himself back into the shape of things. Up the inside line, though, it is the SC25 Ullathorne on the inside line. Massive smack on the door.
The early leader back to, well, second place will make that third place. It is Lee Deegan, the former British and national champion, but contacts Griffiths. Fortunately, no damage done. There's all sorts kicking off now.
Edwards is now back on the inside line. Pandemonium, thy name is Autograss, as Edwards storms up to third position. Here comes Deegan on the inside line. He nudges them, and up the inside comes Ryan Wainwright. He's going to get through into P4. Brilliant battling in this race. Lee Deegan losing out there, and up the inside now, that looks to be Jim Bob Johnson getting back into the fight. This is biblical.
Lee Deegan looks like he dropped £5 and picked up 50p, Jake.
Absolutely, this is a terrible race for Deegan. He's got an opportunity to get it back, though, up to fifth position on the inside of Jim Bob. Now he's going to make the move on the inside of Wainwright, but no, he doesn't. Wainwright shuts the door, so he gives him a little nudge on the love tap there on the back. Oh my word, this is brilliant. These three are not just racing, it's wrestling at the back here.
Johnson on the outside of those three, still going. Here comes a change for the lead.
Yes, it looks as though Griffiths is going to get him on the final turn. Ullathorne is going to lose the lead, and it couldn't have happened at a better time because we've got just one lap to go. Ullathorne is going to have to wrestle his way through here on the inside. You can see the cone on the middle of the circuit. That's been knocked on there a little while ago, but now, talk about timing. Kieran Griffiths has got into the lead at the perfect moment. He could just run away at the field. Cheers, boys. I'll take the double checkered. Brilliant work from Griffiths in the SV4. That will make the Severn Valley Club very happy indeed. Ullathorne in second from Steve Edwards. Jim Bob Johnson battles his way to fourth because Deegan was docked 2 places. You can see on the graphic he got the green flag, 2 places docked, so behind Johnson and Wainwright, and the man who won 3 heats earlier on is only 7th.
Mark Mosley down in 7th place. He will be very disappointed with that. Let's move on. Class 8, the specials up to 1420cc. Dan McKenzie, the Spalding and District driver, waiting to get underway. Here's the full grid. Looks like this. David Newby from Sam Gould, Thomas Chadwick from North Shropshire off 3, then Jack Gibbons, Phil Rogers, Tom Lewis, Dan McKenzie and Mark Clayton on the outside line. It was Dan McKenzie who took 3 wins from 3 heats earlier in the day. He's chosen to go off P7. He's not got the best of start. He's got a miserable start. He's straight away down to last place.
Look how quick the start is in specials compared to the other classes, and already there's a little bit of a contretemps round the outside. And who's that's going to take the lead? That is Tom Lewis, who has stormed through to take the lead in the BC55 machine. What an epic getaway round the outside of turn 1, but now it could well be 2 or 3 wide into the next turn as Lewis goes very wide on the inside. He's going to lose out here.
Jack Gibbons it is that comes down the inside to take the lead down to the final turn, but getting the switch back is the BC55. Tom Lewis back to the lead, but they're side by side.
There's a bit of melee in the back as well. 2 or 3 cars coming together towards the tail end. They all managed to keep it going. In third position now, that is Thomas Chadwick trying to close up on the 2 leaders who are still battling together. Gibbons and Lewis are having an absolute cracker here, with Gibbons just in front. Lewis drifts out wide. Here comes Chadwick, though. He is making this a 3-man brawl.
Gibbons it is that leads it into turn 1, but not for long as Lewis has him up the inside, but Gibbons has him on the switchback, and Chadwick gets closer in third. Great action.
This is specials racing at its finest, as up the inside comes Lewis again. This is probably not going to be the last time we change leaders, as Lewis desperately tries to close back up going into turn 1, but Gibbons has got this for the moment. The Leewood Autograss man is pushing very hard indeed out front. Lewis is still there on the inside, but he hasn't quite got the traction yet to close right up on him. Chadwick's not far away. Chadwick's going to try and go round the outside. Lewis has got it comfortably on the inside for the moment as the checkered flag flies. What a battle. Jack Gibbons gets it from Tom Lewis and Tom Chadwick. Clayton, Rogers and McKenzie locked in their own Fantastic battle for 4th position with Clayton coming out on top, David Newby 7th and Sam Gould 8th. But Jack Gibbons, what a finish.
Fantastic race action, and it keeps coming thick and fast. We're into the ladies' classes. This is Class 3. Sally Corbett is going off 1 from Joanne Rowlands, Leanne Tether, Trish Simmons, Grant off 4 from Catherine Bain, Donna Brown, Gemma Fullard and Grace Alston, and we are off and running.
Donna Brown and Trish Simmons-Grant appear to be in a bit of a drag race down to the first corner here. Simmons-Grant's got the inside line, but here comes Brown. A very wide line, but she's got the speed and the control here. She can take the lead, and up the inside comes Gemma Fullard to try and get the lead, but she's going to have to set off a second. Donna Brown's still there around the outside, and with plenty of speed and power down the straight. That looks to me like Simmons-Grant has held on to 3rd position for the moment. Leanne Tether is moving up to P4 as they come through the first turn once again. Grace Alston running a little bit wide in there as well. But it's Fullard versus Brown for the lead. They started next to each other on the grid and they almost banged doors into the final turn. This is going to be very close indeed between these two, and Catherine Bainen's lost it. Bainen has lost it towards the back. Now, can she keep the car going? Yes, she does. She spin turns it, so we're not going to go red. Still Brown and Fullard as they battle into the first corner once again. Let's keep an eye on these two as they battle for position. Oh, Grace Alston's on her roof. Grace Alston's flipped it. Well, it's ended up on the door. Grace Alston is off, and that's going to be a red flag. No surprises at all there. Grace Alston rolls it onto her side there. Hopefully she's going to be okay. Yes, there is movement in the car, so that's good to see. Grace Alston is okay, so we're going to have to rerun that race a little bit later on, but thank goodness no major damage done for Alston.
Grace Alston out of that one, won't take part in the restart. The Junior Saloons rerun is up next. Male and female drivers aged 12 to 16, restricted to Class 1 cars. The update tells us that Reese and Katie Griffiths don't start this one. Both drivers from the Severn Valley Club. Got a bit of creeping.
Yeah, I was just going to say, sorry, I'm giggling because one of them crept forward. I think it was the Ludlow 15 of Ollie Stevens, and then everybody went, well, you're going to start a bit further forward, so will I. And it's got a little bit too competitive before the tape even goes up.
The Marshalls and Starter are having none of it, though. He's just checking. Yeah, they're happy. Yeah, arms up, they're happy, ready to start. Here goes the tape. Tape's up, away and running.
So down to that first corner, who's going to get the jump? It looks as though it's going to be a drag race between Bub and Urquhart, but on the inside, Dan Hughes does look very strong here. Dorset's got held up at the back, but he might get a shot here on the inside line. Yes, look, he is going for the inside line, and he's clipped the cone there, and straight into the side of Lud 15. Ollie Stevens goes around. They've decided to throw a red on that one, which is a big shame because we had a great fight shaping up there between Dan Hughes and James Bub. They were having a great battle. Watch this on the inside. Bang goes the cone. Dorset getting a little bit too eager, and bang into the side of the Lud 15 of Ollie Stevens. So that's going to be a rerun later. Sadly, it's going to be a similar factor for the Class 5 ladies. Let's show you what happened on the initial start here. It was Kai Smith on the first position from Jenny Brown with Alice Bevans and Nancy Hughes. Penny Smith, a non-starter. Holly Downing, the North Shropshire-based driver, in 6th position with Sarah Farrer and Sarah Bateman. They're all ready to go off the start, and you're about to see what happens off the grid. Sarah Bateman, the favourite for this one. They're just pulling away Dorset's slightly bent and damaged Junior Saloon. Sadly, his day is over. Now watch the slick organisation again. His car gets pulled off by the Marshals, and the white tape goes up. Now, that's how quick it is. It is literally only a couple of seconds. Great start from Alice Bevans. She's going to get into the lead on this first start. Kai Smith and Jenny Brown trying to keep away from each other in the mid-pack as they battle for position. A huge slide wide and a little bit of contact there. But unfortunately, this race is going to need a rerun. We lost Holly Downing just a little further into the race. A spin out on the final turn. A huge shame. A great friend of mine for many years. But look how close she came to getting collected under red flag conditions.
Men's Class 10 up next. Close-up view there of Lance Bowen. He's the big point scorer in this one alongside Andrew Hornshaw. Bowen's chosen to go off grid 7, or Hornshaw off grid 8. It's Seagraves from Court, Cooper, Ray Evans, Tinker, Bowen and Hornshaw. And again, watch here, the last car gets dragged away. This is how slick the organisation is. They're straight off.
And look how fast they are. These are like bullets out of a gun as they fly towards that first corner and onto the inside line straight away. That looks like Phil Cooper, but already it's changed. You've got to be eyes in the back of your head to follow this as round the outside, It looks to me as though we're going to get Andrew Hornshaw flying past Cooper and Evans. There they go. And look who's gone with them. Lance Bowen is there. So the two leading point scorers from this class are now duking it out for position. That's not a car. That's a bucking Bronco on the outside. 2 wheels off the deck as Lance Bowen tries to keep the machine under control. Closing up on the Yorkshire's Andrew Hornshaw. And he's going to get him round the outside. He's got so much power.
Yeah, he's on the rough stuff and he's taken that outside line, and Bowen sweeps through to the lead. The York man there in second place is Hornshaw. They are the big 2-point scorers on the day. They both scored 155 points with 2 wins and a second each. But who's going to take the win?
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Autograss is a mixture of rallycross, drag racing and wrestling all thrown into one, and it's an amazing spectacle. And still Lance Bowen is under massive pressure from Andrew Hornshaw. This is a great fight between these two, and it looks as though Phil Cooper in the Arc 5 has finally managed to drop the pack. Side by side again as they come through. 1 lap to go, and it is these two, but Cooper's going to try and get his weight in there as well for second position. It is still not over between these three. Down the straight, it looks to me though as though Lance Bowen is going to be able to hang on to it. Cooper is muscling his way on the inside though. Is it going to be a change of lead? Oh, so close indeed, sliding across the line. That was mighty, mighty racing. Oh my word. Lance Bowen takes the victory with Hornshaw just beating Phil Cooper over the line. Carl Ray in 4th. Liam Evans is 5th from Lee Seagraves with Wes Tinker and Colin Court. My word, biblical racing in Class 10 again, and there's more where that came from after the break.